It's been 3 weeks since I did my first impressions video of Monster Hunter Rise, and I think it's time we had a real talk about this game. To start with, I still highly recommend this game to anyone who likes the Monster Hunter series, despite some of the problems I have with it. Everything you'd want in a Monster Hunter game is here. You fight harder and harder monsters to craft gear and weapons to progress further into the game. But this is also where one of my first problems comes into play. I don't know if I'm being crazy or if I just played too much Monster Hunter World, but none of the monsters in this game ever felt really difficult. Even doing the Gathering Hub quests by yourself is completely doable. It just takes a longer amount of time to hunt the same monsters that you would find in the village quests. Now this could be a completely different story for somebody who just started playing Monster Hunter, but I really hope some of these updates fix this problem. Don't get me wrong, it's still fun to fight all these monsters, but I just wish there was a way to make it more challenging. The wire bugs in this game are still my favorite new feature in the Monster Hunter series. I love that I can use them after getting hit by a monster to zip away for a quick heal, or to reposition myself if I'm in a tight spot. If you watched my first impressions video, you'll know I hated how you mounted monsters with the wire bugs, but I also said I can change my mind about that. And I did. Mounting one monster to attack another monster is surprisingly fun in this game. It took me a while to get used to how that worked, but once I figured it out, I looked forward to other monsters joining my battle against the monster I was hunting. If I had to pick my biggest disappointment with this game, I would say it's the Rampage quests. If you ever played a tower defense game, you know exactly what you're in for here. You're supposed to set up all kinds of defenses to fight off a stampede of monsters. I think the way that you're supposed to do it is that you would set up some auto turrets and then get on a manually controlled turret and try to fight the monsters. But I never did that shit. I set up all my defenses to be auto turrets and ballistas, and then I jumped down there with my hammer and beat the shit out of these monsters, and it really wasn't that fun. The worst part about this is that Apex monsters, which are the most challenging monsters in the game, are hidden in this mode. I really wish one of these updates lets you have a real fight with these Apex monsters. Speaking of this stupid Rampage style gameplay, this is exactly how you have to fight the final boss of the game. I'm not going to go into too much detail or show any footage of the final boss for spoiler reasons, but I will say this is the most boring, stupid fight I've done in Monster Hunter in a long time. I would rather do missions that involve you gathering honey and herbs and fighting small monsters than do this mission again. And this kind of brings me to my next point. What do you do after you beat the final boss? You can grind monster parts to make new decorations and talismans, as well as new armor and weapons. But I did find myself losing interest in this way faster than I did in Monster Hunter World. With that said, I think this game desperately needs those updates to come out as soon as possible. I think I saw that one of the updates is supposed to include high-rank village quests, and I hope that scratches the itch for more challenging fights. And the inclusion of new monsters has me very excited. But I can't say I'm too thrilled with the idea of Apex Rathalos if it's hidden in the Rampage quests. Also, I really hope we get Zamtrios, Nursilla, and Gore Magala in the future. As a Monster Hunter fan, I have to give this game a 9 out of 10. Even though I have some problems with the game, I still have fun and enjoy it every time I turn it on. And I hope this game is supported for as long as Monster Hunter World was, with continuous new monsters and new expansions. I think by the time Monster Hunter Rise gets its ultimate version, it'll be a 10 out of 10.